So, Chris, how was your week?
My week.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, by the way, this is horribly off talking.
horribly off toxic
Horribly off blah blah.
with Steve.
And me. Oh, wait, I'm Steve. This is the worst open ever.
Well, it draws attention to itself, which all our openings do, and that in that way it can't be the worst. I mean, it's par for the course.
Yes. I liked last week when we had a sponsor that wasn't a sponsor.
Yes, that was good.
I need to start writing copy.
Writing copy for the sponsors that aren't sponsors.
Or yeah, I'll just make up things or be like, oh, hey folks, go down to Caldor's today and get an awesome deal on a 32X. It's $89.99.
Did your mom work at Caldor at one point? My mom worked at Caldor.
Yeah, your mom
did. I know that. I didn't forget that my mom worked at Caldor.
My dad did way back.
Okay.
Like way back, like before I was born.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, this is horribly off topic with Chris and Steve, as if I needed to say that again. We already said it twice or something. How was my week?
Oh yeah, I originally asked you that question.
You did ask me that. And I'm going to try to get back on topic.
Damn it.
Well, I had Tuesday off for Veterans Day.
I did not.
And I thought that was going to help me stay on track throughout the whole week.
Stay on target.
Stay on target. Sometimes you're Porkins and sometimes you're Wedge.
Doesn't Porkins die?
Yeah.
Okay. And Wedge is the one that makes it through all of them, right?
I think so. Yeah.
What about,
that was a tweet that I retweeted this week. Some days you're Porkins, some days you're Wedge, or vice versa. I don't know. Glass half
What about
empty,
Biggs?
glass half. Maybe it was Biggs. I don't know. Now I got to look it up. Anyway, maybe Wedge is the one.
I'll
dies.
look it up while you tell your story.
So I thought that having Tuesday off and by planning out my week carefully, I was going to not have a late night on Thursday, which I've had for the last couple of weeks because I have 3 classes on Friday.
That's funny. I never have any class.
Yeah. No, I know you don't. But that's what makes you charming.
You know what? Fuck you. I'm not doing this show anymore.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
Don't. Oh, come on. So, no, but I still ended up, by the time I got to Thursday night, I was up until midnight grading things. And so having an extra day to do all my work did not help.
Oh.
So that was my week. I went in on Friday having basically just shaved. I'd basically been growing stubble all week, but I decided maybe I'll sort of make my facial hair look like it was done on purpose. And this was the biggest mistake of my week because I walked into class on Friday at 11, and immediately they were like sort of giggling, and they're like. And I'm like, well, what's going on? And they're like, are you doing no? They say, Professor Clark, are you doing no shave November? Are you doing November? I'm like, no, I was trying to make it look like I wasn't just, I did it on purpose. I'd shaved my neck and, I'd trimmed, and they just 2 classes in a row. I got grief, came home. First thing I did on Saturday was shave it all off. I was just like, nope. I've had facial hair before. Most of my, the show art for this show has me with facial hair.
Yes.
All of my headshots have me with facial hair. But I don't know. Maybe I'm not going to be able to get past the initial stage of looking stupid because my students make fun of me. And
what you should do is just feed into it and just wear a fake beard. It's like a Santa Claus beard or something like that. It's fake beard Vember.
Fake beard Vember, yes.
Or something Vember, because everything needs to be something of the month that it is.
It's,
it started with October.
Deceptive beard December.
December.
Deceptive, I don't know.
No, but it started with October. They were like, every radio station was like, oh, it's cool. It's Rocktober. We're going to rock you to the
They
fucking
did do that for
class. For a while.
I don't know. I haven't listened to the radio in a very long time.
Yeah, but, if you ever, you're listening to the classic rock, yeah, it's Rocktober. And then Then Opie and Anthony did a thing. I don't know.
Or it's Cocktober?
No, it was Jocktober, where they basically found a shitty radio show in like different markets.
Yeah.
And then each day in Jocktober, they would make fun of all these shitty shows. And then,
as you do,
what would happen would be that their Facebook or the Facebook of the show that they were making fun of would be destroyed by the O&A fans, who are some of the best / worst people ever.
Yeah.
And like, you know, there would just be like as much gay porn as you could imagine would be on their Facebook page.
On the Facebook
and then
page.
they're like, so they just shut down comments. And then guess what? They found a way around that, because the comments that still exist,
right?
You can comment on the comments.
You can comment on the comments.
And so basically, you know, that would shut down all comments. Basically, so it's a shell of a Facebook page.
Yeah.
And then, so basically you're like, I can't do anything, so they just shut it down.
Well, Facebook pages are useless right now anyway. I have a Facebook page for Clarkwoods, the company, and if I post something to Clarkwoods, for instance, our show, or a blog post, and I don't share it anywhere else, if I just put it on the Clarkwoods page, 1 or 2 people see it.
Oh, cool!
Yeah, isn't that great? Isn't that the whole point? If I then share it myself, now 100-something people will see it. But the whole point for me of having a Facebook page is that if you're my friend, if you're my family member, and if you're that conservative sort of right-wing family member who doesn't want to hear Steve and I talk about how maybe Obama isn't always wrong, he's just then you don't like the Horribly Off Topic. There isn't a Horribly Off Topic page, but you don't like the Clarkwoods page because you're going to get inundated with my blog posts and shit. So that's why you like the page, because you're interested in my shit and not just in me as your friend or family member. But instead, that fan page mechanism doesn't work, and I have to share it with everybody anyway. And it's just like, no wonder nobody
likes it.
No wonder nobody likes.
Well, we had this conversation before.
Yeah,
back when I quit.
Yeah,
but my arguments about it.
Yeah,
or well, not arguments, but it's not like we were having a heated argument. We were agreeing with it.
We agree with each other.
So yeah, it was just like fed up, and like all the things that you're saying, I was fed up with, because I was trying to do my stand-up gigs, and people weren't coming because they didn't know about them, because they never saw a thing that I had posted it. But the thing is, like, I would post a picture. Yeah. That a brand new picture, and then like I'd get 1 billion comments.
Oh yeah.
A million. Well, not a. But I get.
But you get a lot.
Above average amount of likes. So I just
pictures, for sure, number one thing that gets any action on.
So
that
I
site.
should just have pictures.
Yeah.
Well, that's too late now, but. I should have just had pictures of my stand-up gigs.
Yeah, right. And then somebody sees the picture. You know, if you put it. See, I wonder if their algorithms and shit are going so far that if you put like dates and stuff on the picture, would it then say, "Oh, this looks like an ad. Don't show it"? Because it seems that what they're trying to do is drive you, even as both Facebook and Twitter are doing this. Drive you as an individual. To anything you want to promote, you should pay for it. And I get that that's how they want to make their money, but find some other way. Because the whole utility of Facebook for businesses or nonprofit groups or any of this stuff is sort of out the window. And maybe there's somebody out there. If you're out there, send us an email, hot@clarkwoods.com, who knows what the hell you're supposed to do with Facebook these days. Maybe there's somebody out there.
Or in general, just like not necessarily these days, but what were you supposed to do with it?
What are you supposed to do with it?
It's enough. Just go out with friends like normal people do.
Yes, and talk to people
like common people do. That was my Shatner.
So that's my week. Way more than you needed. What was your week like?
What are you, ham hand?
Ham hand?
There's a ham.
There's a hand. I don't know. It's a little hammier. I don't know. I haven't weighed myself in a couple weeks. I'm afraid to.
Shut up. So yeah.
Yes, there's my ham-fisted. Ham-fisted transition.
Gross.
Okay,
so yeah.
I didn't say fisting ham. I said ham-fisted. There's something wrong with
stop saying ham-fist.
How was your week?
Thursday morning, I woke up and my bathroom had a significant amount of water in it. like on the floor.
That you didn't put there.
I didn't put any of the water on the bathroom floor.
Okay. Because sometimes, you know, we dudes, we tend to leave a little something on the floor.
Yeah, occasionally. Yeah.
For the next person.
You know, but usually, but overnight, that deposit has dried up.
Usually.
Unless it's a significant amount, like I completely missed the toilet.
Yeah, which has, I mean, I've done that.
With the no lights on or whatever?
Nah, no lights on.
Because apparently, like I sometimes try the no lights on because like when it's the middle of the night I'm taking a pee, I'm like trying not to like have my eyes be like, oh, it's daytime now. Mm-hmm. So I'm just trudging into the bathroom and like hoping that I don't piss everywhere.
I've other time it's happened erection peeing, like when you've still got the erection and it hasn't quite gone away yet, but you really need to pee, and it seems to like come out sideways or you know whatever.
The sideways is because it's probably like crusted semen at the end of your penis.
No, there's not
either that or a hair.
I mean, I'm married. There's not a lot of semen in my life these days, these past few years.
You should go down to a port.
Anyway, so I have left puddles, but I try to clean them up.
With your sock or
with my sock
or a piece of toilet paper.
Toilet paper.
Yeah. I don't know, whatever.
But there's a lot of water in your bathroom, and it's not caused by you peeing. It's not caused by me peeing because I wasn't here.
Yeah. I'm glad you weren't. That would be really creepy if you're just like, I put a bunch of water on the floor and then you left. Like, what the fuck?
It's like, Steve, my wife won't let me pee in our bathroom anymore, so I had to drive 40 minutes.
You could have driven to your parents' house. It's closer.
I could have, but my parents banned me from using their bathroom a long time ago, too.
Why?
Same reason.
Oh, okay. Well, just go to the 7-Eleven across the street. Oh, wait, they don't have public restroom.
No, they do.
Oh, they do?
They have a public restroom.
Well, never mind then. Go there.
Yeah, okay. Next time.
Drop some massive twos.
Your floor is wet.
My floor is wet,
and
I was like, oh, golly. So I clean it up with some towels, and then I put them in the laundry, and I wash them up. And then I call the maintenance guy, like the regular number. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, hey, what's going on? My bathroom was flooded early. Can you come by and check? I'm going to either go into work later or take the day off, depending on how long it takes to figure out what the hell is wrong or what the hell happened. So I clean up. So I was just kind of sitting here waiting for them to get back to me. It was like 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And I hear bloop, 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 and I'm like, oh no.
That's not
it's
a good
happening
sound.
Again. And then like, so I look in and it's just like a bunch of water is in there. And then I'm like, okay, so I built like a towel wall at the doorway.
Yeah.
To try to
keep it from coming out onto the. No, you have hardwood. I was gonna say coming out onto the carpet.
Yeah, it did not make it this far.
Yeah.
It only over there, which is fine. And that's why we have that giant yellow fan over there.
Right.
So he's gonna come back and replace the baseboards in the bathroom, on Tuesday when he's back in here. But so I'm like filling a levee.
Yeah.
Trying to keep out the water. But it definitely was just like Katrina, and it made it through the levees. And I'm just kind of trying to find everything that I have.
Led Zeppelin had something to say about when the levee breaks, didn't they? There's some useful advice.
I don't know I'm not a big Zeppelin head.
I don't know. I just know there's a song called "When the Levee Breaks." I'm not even sure that it's by Led Zeppelin.
Maybe it's Les Zeppelin, the lesbian Led Zeppelin cover band.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just like going through my closet and like finding pieces of. I'm like, bathrobe. That's like a wearable towel. I'm like throwing things out. And I'm just like trying to stop the water, and then I call the maintenance guy again, and this time it's the emergency number because like I was just like
it's getting a little worse.
Yeah, my bathroom's flooding like severely now.
Yeah.
And he was here like very quickly after that, which was cool because I think he was on his way to come in anyways.
Right. Yeah. He just put the pedal to the metal.
Yeah. He was here in like maybe 5 minutes after I called that, and then he got the wet vac and went to work, and I guess it was a sewer thing, and then sewer guy showed up and did some things, and it made it so that it stopped happening. And the neighbors had issues, but not like bad like mine. They just had like stopped up drains and toilet.
No, it's not. It wasn't that they did something that then came over here, was it? No. Okay.
Yeah, so it was just it was a mess, and so spent most of the day like cleaning up, and then I definitely Swiffered and washed the floors several times, and then the bathroom floor did the same once I had the fan going for a day.
Yeah.
So
I had like 7-8 years ago, my the hot water heater in our house went, and the hot water heater is
where did it go?
Eventually, I don't know. I think it went to hot water heater heaven.
Oh,
yeah.
But did it explode and like?
It did something. It started leaking, but it was leaking when at a point when I didn't notice it. So this is Halloween, and I have Kaylee. She's very little at this point, my older daughter, and I'm walking along our living room, which is shares a wall with the mechanical room where the
water
heater is. Okay. And the floorboards in our living room are squishing, and there's water coming up through the floorboards, and I'm like, what the heck is this? Because we have a slab. There's no basement down there. I'm like, why is there water coming in?
Did you call 1-800-BUSY-DOG? Shit, stop advertising things.
No, I did not. So then I go in, I turn on the light, and I open the mechanical room door, and there is a good 2 inches of water across the entire floor, going into the closet where all of our Christmas decorations and all of our other stuff is stored. Now, obviously, going underneath and through the wall out into the living room. Basically, the entire heater just leaked out. And we didn't have, there probably was somebody, but I don't have a maintenance person's number. We live in the townhouse development. I didn't know who to call. We were due to go to the child care place that Stephanie works and that Kaylee was attending at the time. And thankfully, they had a wet vac, and we were able to borrow it and bring it in. But still to this day, a couple of the floorboards in our living room have gaps between them where the corners got so wet that they kind of just went up a little bit. Most people wouldn't notice it. I'm sure when we eventually have to sell the place, somebody's going to notice it. Hopefully it won't be too bad.
We could get the floors replaced.
We could. We don't have that kind of money, but we
just
could.
Call on the 1-800-588-2300 Empire today.
Yeah.
Just put carpets over it.
Yeah, but you just advertised the second person?
I know, for a different thing.
But
guy is dead.
Is he really?
That Empire Carpet guy.
Oh, that's
he
sad.
was also like, it recently went on to Netflix, but or video streaming service. What was it? Wayne's World. At the beginning of Wayne's World, when that Rob Lowe and that girl that he was being romantic with at the beginning of the film, she's like flicking through the channels watching TV,
right?
And there's a part where it's that dude, the Empire Carpets
guy,
like saying, "We've got offices in Aurora and blah 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 blah."
I remember that. That's the same guy.
Yeah.
How did they get that? Because wasn't Empire?
It might have been a real ad. Like maybe that company started in the greater.
Oh, okay. That's what I was gonna say. I thought Empire was a New England thing, and this was
no. I think it was. I think it's actually national.
Huh.
I think I've seen those ads in other parts of the country.
Interesting.
But yeah, maybe they got to start
those guys
in Illinois, and that's why they play that ad.
Why is it Illinois and not Illinois?
Why is a lot of things in the English language
Illinoising?
Yeah.
I don't know why they're yeah. So I feel your pain.
Yeah, it was a very moist day.
Terrible word. Do you hate that word?
No, I love it.
You love the.
I love it because a lot of people hate it.
A lot of people hate the word.
You've seen my stand-up. You know that bit that I had.
I do remember that bit. Well, how does the moist bit go?
It starts off like with I see a box of cake mix, and it says moist on the box. So I sent a picture of Rob, and Rob hates it.
Rob. I was trying to remember who it was that hated it the most.
Yeah, it was him, and he said I was the worst person ever.
What is your least favorite word in the English language? Hey, we'll pretend we're on inside the actor studio, right? What is your least favorite word in the English language?
I don't like the word slurry.
Slurry.
And it doesn't come up a lot, like outside of work,
right?
Because like I'll be working on like a SOP or a batch record at work or whatever.
Yeah.
Typing stuff up,
and you have to type
and
slurry,
I'll see the word slurry or something. I'm like, it's like you have to mix something to a slurry, and I don't know, I don't like it.
I know at one point, John Martin, who I host
Generation
Goat with, he hated the word copacetic. Because there was some, and for a legit reason, there was some kid in his homeroom, I think, who would come in singing that song. You just don't get it.
Oh yeah.
And he would just sing that over and over and over again. So I think John came to hate the word copacetic because of that song.
I hate Superman because of that song.
The Crash Test Dummy song?
No. The one that was like the Kryptonite song.
Yeah, it's Crash Test Dummies, isn't it?
No. I forget who does it.
Oh, okay, I know who you're talking about. Yep, yeah.
That band. Like when I first got to Framingham.
Yeah.
My roommate.
Is that like Nickelback?
It might have been Nickelback.
Creed.
Some band that I don't like.
Yeah.
But my roommate was I'm not going to mention his name. But this is my original roommate, not the one that I went up to visit in Canada.
Yeah.
He was in AA, which is, I don't know, I guess if you find out early that you're a crazy addict guy, it's good to catch it early.
Sure. Yeah.
And so I was not a dick. I didn't like bring booze into the room,
right.
Or I didn't invite him out to things that were drinky related.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to, And I went to a meeting with him once, which was kind of weird.
A little strange.
Yeah, I was like, And like when I said, because I didn't say that I was an alcoholic when they went around the room.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Hi, I'm Steve," and everybody was like, "Welcome." Yeah. I'm like, weird. So like he went to bed really early a lot.
Yeah.
And he snored like a motherfucker. So like there was no point where I was ever going to bed earlier than him. Like even now, like he went to bed like 8.
Oh.
And I'm like, I can't even do that now, and I wake up at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah. No, I can't do 8. I've tried. I can't do 8.
Yeah,
9, I can do 9.
Yeah, so I couldn't get to sleep before him. So,
yeah.
And then I'd just be like, dude, you need to turn on your side or something, or to get like a nose guard or something. Yeah. But again, I'm not even talking about the original reason why I was talking about this kid. But I would come into the room sometimes, and he'd be listening to that Kryptonite song. I think the lyrics were like, "If I go crazy, will you still call me Superman?" etc. etc.
Yeah.
And then Kryptonite, he would just listen to that on repeat, and I'm like, dude, you need to put on headphones or stop listening to that song forever.
Yeah. So you don't like Superman because of that?
No, I'm just kidding. But I was just. I don't dislike Superman. I think he's sort of
he's a very lame superhero.
Yeah, he's a very lame guy. I mean, like, Batman is cool because he's like, I mean, he may be just like a rich guy with a lot of toys, but he's.
But he saw his parents murdered in front of him.
Yeah, he's got a dark past, and
and he won't kill anybody.
Yeah,
he's got a code of honor.
Didn't he at one point kill somebody?
Probably. I don't know.
Like in the Batman movie, I just watched that's on streaming video service.
Yeah, Batman Begins, or like the Michael Keaton Batman.
The Michael Keaton Batman.
He
kills Jack Nicholson.
Does he kill? Yeah, he might kill.
Well, I don't know. I think it was incidental that it happened. I don't think he intended to kill him.
Yeah, well, I think that's the thing. Like he is even in the in Nolan Batman's Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne is pretty much responsible for killing Ra's al Ghul in the first one. He said, but he passes it off by saying, I'm not going to kill you, but I don't have to save you. And he just basically traps a guy in a thing that's going to kill him.
Yeah.
So
that's...
it's Batman is cooler than Superman. I don't think anybody could disagree with that.
But then again, I was never into the DC comics.
No, I mean just in general, Marvel comics are way better than.
What was the name of the comic store that you used to work at?
Hot Comics.
Was it Hot Comics?
Hot Comics.
What were the name of the guys that were, the folks that ran that place?
Jerry and Diane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I remember because on Thursdays I would go over there because
Right.
my dad we would do laundry at the laundromat on
Yeah.
Thursdays.
Oh yeah, which is like not quite across the street, but pretty close.
Yeah. So like we would just I would pop over there and you'd be there sometimes.
Yep.
And I got my comic subscriptions, which are in that box right to your side.
Right to my side. Nice.
I don't have that many comics.
Yeah, I have way too many because I worked there and then I kept buying them throughout college, and I don't know how much money I have sunk into comics over the
The
years.
problem with like when we were collecting comics
Is
was,
that you were all, everyone was encouraged to buy multiple copies and
just get the special editions, and they were not special. They were like printed millions of copies.
Yes.
Like
it was nothing from that period nothing from that period forward is really worth anything.
I imagine things might be worth more now because I don't think they print maybe as much.
Yeah, but the problem now that digital is the thing, you can get nearly any book you want. Like I have a Marvel Unlimited subscription, and so there were years where I kind of fell off a little bit because money was tight, and money's certainly tight now. But I can go back and I can read whole runs of comics for my single like $80 a year subscription, and I can read all the new comics I want if I'm willing to wait 6 months, which I am because I don't care.
Yeah, because like unless you're crazy invested in the storyline like I am with One Piece.
Yeah. You just wait.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's a totally different marketplace now, and I've tried to get rid of some of my comics and nobody wants them.
I remember one time me and my mother and her boyfriend were like hanging out at the ball fields. We were watching some Little League game or whatever. Mm-hmm. And Jerry and Diane came out the back of the store.
Yeah.
And were like arguing about something.
Oh yeah, they did that a lot. There's stories that I'm not allowed to share. Although
why not?
I did share in.
Because you told the name of the store, so this is probably public record.
Yeah.
Of their existence.
There is a fiction story that I published. That had
fiction story,
a fictional story as opposed to a non-fictional story.
I gotcha.
That I published in a collection called River Muse: Tales of Lowell and the Merrimack Valley. That had pieces by Dubuque and Jack Kerouac and all that stuff, and one of my high school English teachers, Beverly McCoy, she has a story in there, and I have a story in there. And the story of mine that's in there is loosely based on the comic book store, but is not 100% there.
Well, like they got their distribution from the comic store in Nashua, right?
Yes, they did. Yeah,
which still exists. It's moved. It's not.
They used to have 2 locations, so I wonder if they closed the one and where is it now?
It's over by exit 4. You would take on Route 3, going towards where the Boston Billiards is.
Yeah,
so keep on driving past that.
That guy had 2 locations, and I think the one that's you're talking about was the other one, and they just moved into that one. Yeah, because the one they were originally in that we always went to go pick up the books is
the one next to the Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah,
closer to downtown.
But another place opened a store in the mall for a while, and then
it was Harrison's.
Yeah, and then
they're over by where Newbury Comics was, and Newbury Comics
basically Newbury Comics
swapped.
Yeah, Newbury Comics wanted the spot, so the mall kicked Harrison's out and gave Harrison's spot to Newbury Comics.
Basically, but Harrison's is also in Salem. We're doing ads for these people.
We are doing ads for these people. The place that
Harrison's is good. I played Magic there.
I tend to go to Double Midnight Comics in Manch, Vegas.
I've never been there, but I've heard good things.
They are a good place. And then if I'm in the Seacoast, I go up to Jetpack Comics in Rochester.
Okay. That's a haul.
Well, that's where everybody on the Seacoast goes because there isn't someplace downtown. It's and they used to sponsor Dorks and Dungeons, although now Dorks and Dungeons is sponsored by other people. But they just had a thing this last night as we record this, where a representative from Jetpack, a representative from Double Midnight, and a representative from a couple other places had geek trivia. And I had meant to go. But
isn't all trivia geek trivia?
I think so. But you know.
All right, so I had this thing pop into my brains just now. All right,
Just now.
I was watching, like, right after Robin Williams died, I was watching The Fisher King.
Yes.
Which Jeff Bridges is in.
Mm-hmm.
And in the film, he's wearing a T-shirt. It was a long-sleeve T-shirt.
Okay.
Black sleeves, and
Yep.
it's a white T-shirt, and has like I think it's a Japanese baseball player and something written in Japanese on it.
Okay.
In The Big Lebowski, which we talked about last week,
We did.
the scene where the dude goes to the Big Lebowski's place after Bunny is kidnapped. I put kidnapped in air quotes.
Yeah.
He's in the Big Lebowski's looking into the fire, and then the dude asks if he can do a J, and he's smoking a joint behind him. And he's like, "Fucking A." He's wearing that exact same
shirt.
T-shirt.
That's pretty funny.
And I looked it up because like I'm like, what the hell's going on? This must be his shirt. So he just like wore it onto set or something like that. And they were like, oh, it's a cool shirt. We'll leave it in or whatever. Well, I imagine Terry Gilliam, like, because he directed Fisher King.
Yeah.
I imagine he didn't give a shit and probably thought it was cool.
Right. Yeah.
But like I've also heard that there's a third movie, and I should have looked it up before I brought it up.
where Bridges wears that?
Yeah,
That's pretty funny.
And to go back to earlier, you can look it up while I'm telling this thing.
Okay.
If you want.
All
right. So Biggs Darklighter.
Okay. Yes. Big
was a
Darklighter.
human male Starfleet pilot who served the Alliance to
Starfleet?
Starfighter. Starfighter pilot.
I was like, he came over from Captain Kirk and whatever. He took a time tunnel and ended up.
Shut up! I misspoke. Starfighter pilot who served the Alliance to restore the Republic, and a childhood friend of Luke Skywalker. Apparently, they were pals, and I didn't know that.
There's a deleted scene, I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay. During the time of the Galactic Civil War, Darklighter flew a T-65 X-Wing starfighter with the Red Squadron during the Battle of Yavin as Red 3, where he perished. So that means that Wedge Antilles was the one that survived through all of the films.
Gotcha.
Did you find it?
I found, okay, so I did a search on Big Lebowski Fisher King t-shirt, and the first thing that comes up is Kearu Beto baseball shirt worn by the dude in the Big Lebowski and also worn by Jeff Bridges in the Fisher King.
There isn't a third movie then, maybe?
This one does not mention the third movie, so I'm going to keep looking. Let me see if...
because I was just like, what the... Because
Actor Jeff Bridges wore the same shirt in 3 films. Let's find out. Cold Feet, 1989, is what this one is saying. All this page is loading slowly.
So Cold Feet was probably the first one then.
Yeah.
Then the Fisher King and then the Lebowski. So.
Yeah, although it is not likely to be the same shirt, nonetheless has become a popular piece of clothing. Beto was a former Nippon professional baseball player. He played for the Mainichi Orions from 1950 to 1957 after a 2-year stint with the Osaka Tigers.
Ooh. So cool. That's like a fun piece of trivia right there.
Yeah.
That's what made me think of that, because we were talking about nerd trivia.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so I
keep on getting us back on topic.
Don't you know the name of the show?
God damn it. Man, you and your bladder, eh?
Me and my bladder? What? What?
I'm just going to break the fourth wall wide open. We just paused it because Chris had to piss, like which he did right before we started.
Right before we started, yeah. So I went about 40 minutes because I think I went and then we gabbed for a little bit before we started recording.
Like clucking like the hens we are.
Yeah. So I have this thing. I like the Big Gulp from 7-Eleven.
I suppose if you're drinking diet soda, it's not that bad.
No, well, or it is even worse.
You're just putting a lot more poison into your body.
More poison into my body.
I'm drinking unsweetened iced tea, which is better for you because tea is good for you.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. You keep on dropping the pen.
Dropping the pen.
When I went down to North Carolina with your brother for Yucko's wedding, at a certain point I was gonna start yelling at him you're not allowed to drink liquid anymore.
because
I just like
so
I'm like,
times.
dude, like we just stopped like an hour ago. It's like I gotta go. I'm like, God damn it. And I'm like, let's get there. I like when I lived down there and I moved back.
Yeah.
I stopped 3 times when I like on the drive back from like with my car all loaded up with my stuff. I stopped once for gas and peeing, a second time for gas and peeing, and then something to eat, and a third time just to eat, and then also pee.
You got the bladder champions.
15 hours, sir.
Well, okay, so
peed 3 times.
We both had when we were in Disney, we both had to this summer. We both had to stop quite a bit, and I'm trying to remember if my dad did. I do know.
Have you got the thing up your like? Have they checked?
It was a while ago, but they've checked it, and everything seemed to be fine. And I still had the Sir Peas a lot back then. But we do have a great grandfather and a great something like that. 2 guys in a row who had complications from BPH, which is benign prostatic hypertrophy. The not going to kill you
that
version.
3 times real fast.
The not going to kill you version of prostate. It's not prostate cancer. It's you don't have prostate cancer, but your prostate is
weird.
Is weird. Yeah.
You got a weird big prostate.
So we've got. Or a small one. I don't know what the difference. Would it be a big one that would make you
I think
pee
the
a lot?
big prostate would be bad.
Yeah.
You'll be pushing on something, therefore on your bladder maybe. I don't know.
I don't know
how the anatomy works.
We are not doctors.
Nor are we intelligent.
No, never claimed that.
Okay, what else is on the list?
Well, somewhere along the line, I was trying to get us to. It was when I asked you what word you didn't like the most.
Oh yeah, because it was the
moist. You didn't like moist.
No. I didn't like slurry.
You don't like slurry, and I brought that up because I saw there was a lot of controversy this week. I want to ask you: does the word feminist upset you?
Not really.
Does it? Would you put the word feminist on a list of words to ban?
I wouldn't put any word on a list of words to ban.
Well,
that's just my opinion.
As it turned, and I tweeted this week or retweeted somebody who said I don't want any word banned for any reason ever.
Like
it's just a word, Yes, and like, there aren't any words that should be rid of from the language without any discussion about it. Even the. And we've talked about this. Even the N-word in the context of
like Huck Finn or
Huck Finn. In the context of Huckleberry Finn, a few years ago they were trying to put out that version of Huckleberry Finn
where they changed every
instance of the N-word to slave. No,
that takes away the power of it, and it's supposed to be powerful because I don't know.
Yeah, so it's supposed to
invoke the feelings of rage because it's a bad thing that we're calling this man who's a human being this shitty word.
Yes. So anyway, Time came out with a list of which word should be banned in 2015.
Oh.
And they included the word feminist on the list. And many of the women that I follow on Twitter were understandably upset about this. I think Time tried to rationalize later by saying Time apologizes for the execution of this poll.
Shut up with apologizing.
Listen, the word feminist should not have been included in a list of words to ban. While we meant to invite debate about some ways the word was used this year, that nuance was lost, and we regret that its inclusion has become a distraction from the important debate over equality and justice.
And how about this? How about we don't ban words ever and don't have articles about it?
Yeah, no, that would be the easiest possible thing.
Are you really that strapped for like Reader's Time magazine that you need to,
Oh my God. And here's the thing: they made the apology. Did they remove the word feminist from the list?
No. Good.
So it's still on the list. I just want to read these and Bay.
Bay?
Bay.
B-A-Y.
No, B-A-E. Are you familiar with this term?
No.
Yes, this is their explanation. Yes, this term of endearment has been around for years. News to you and me.
Yeah, I guess
but
so.
suddenly it's everywhere. You can't turn around without someone encountering someone's bae or some bae meal or some bae. The cool factor is being smothered.
I don't know
time
what
to
the hell.
start using something.
I guess I'm that removed from cool.
I
that
have no idea what bae. I am guessing that bae means babe, like it's a short of that, but
Baby.
I don't know. All right, basic. Are you familiar with basic as
Like
a term?
Visual Basic? I don't know. What are we? I'm thinking about left field things.
Okay, so basic. You get it. Girls need a word for other girls who name drop D-listers in their fake. I don't
Really?
basic. Okay, I'm not gonna.
Don't even bother.
I'm not gonna even bother. Basic is apparently a word that should be banned. Bossy.
Oh, because that's something.
Because that's a negative. You can be called bossy, and that's negative. So we should ban it.
No.
Disrupt.
Why?
Because I think their thinking there is that disrupt is used too often.
Did you bring up this list to make me upset?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Because I like seeing you upset, and the listeners like hearing you upset.
Oh, good.
They have
great.
told me this.
Really?
No.
Oh. No, the listeners wouldn't reach out to us, except for Brian.
Feminist, right?
Of course.
Which we talked about.
Why did they list a justification?
So their justification for feminist was you have nothing against feminism itself, but when did it become a thing that every celebrity had to state their position on whether this word applies to them, like some politician declaring a party? Let's stick to the issues and quit throwing this label around like ticker tape at a Susan B. Anthony parade.
Well, there's different types of feminism, and some of them are good, and some of them are way too far for me.
Okay.
Like, what was it? Dworkin. She was a biggie back in the day, but she said that all like heterosexual sex was rape. And I'm like, that's a little bit too much there.
Yeah, that is a little. Yeah.
But in that article that I was talking about last week, there was another part where he was saying that basically the two sides of the whole situation are talking past each other because most people are closer to the center, like,
right.
Like most people are.
Yeah.
And it's just basically crazy people on one end and crazy people on the other end yelling at each other, and
and everyone in the middle, all they're hearing is just yelling, and they're not. They can't distinguish what the yelling is. They just hear yelling.
Yeah, and it's just like enough.
So. Which if either side really wanted to in the Gamergate thing wanted to make a point, they would realize that and say maybe we should have sort of a rational discussion. Back and forth, so that people in the middle,
no such thing, my friend.
So the people in the middle could understand what the hell we were even arguing about, instead of feeling like they're in the middle of a restaurant where there's an argument going on over here and there's an argument going on over here, and all you can tell is there are people arguing.
And it's hard to be objective about it too, because everybody is going to be leaning one way or the other, or slightly, and so every media outlet, has an article about it because it's something that's around. And it's hard to be objective as a journalist, which is why it's so tough.
I can't even.
Good.
That's another one that they suggested.
Oh, you were just changing the subject.
No. I'm going to get back on topic. We're straying.
We should just call it horribly back on topic.
I can't even is one they want to get. They suggest
That's a
to get
phrase.
It is a phrase. Yes. A couple of these other ones are phrases. Influencer. Kale. Just the word,
like the vegetable.
The vegetable.
Not like someone who's named Kale.
Nope, kale, the vegetable.
Pardon.
Literally.
Well, that one does come up a lot, but again, I'm not going
to
be.
And it's misused for people who are meaning figuratively, but whatever. Like, I think we've both. I just want to get through the rest of the list because I think some of these are. Nom nom.
Yeah, that is obnoxious, but it's definitely I don't know.
it's obnoxious.
That's been around for a while. That's been around for like years.
Yeah, but you wouldn't ban it.
No,
you don't want to hear it.
Okay, as much as I'm annoyed by something, I don't want that thing to stop existing because I'm annoyed by it.
Right, because plenty of people are annoyed by us, and we don't want us to stop existing.
Yes, because again, what I talked about last time, seek out the things you like. If people don't like this, why would they listen to it?
Right.
But there are people that like I said last week, I was
the
crazy.
Average, did you bring up the average Howard Stern listener quote last week?
No, I did not.
when did that? I don't know when that came up. Maybe it was in class we were talking about. Yes, it came up in class this week because we were talking about censorship.
Yeah.
And there is the quote from Private Parts about they're in the boardroom and they're talking about how the average Howard Stern listener listens for X hours. The average Howard Stern hater listens for double X hours.
Why, if they
hate him, why do they keep listening? But
they want to hear what he says next.
Yes.
But we're not that cool or edgy.
Not yet.
Well,
we just have to say something really, really
No, I don't. Not. I'd rather not become infamous. I'd rather actually, if we're gonna do this, let's do it the right way.
Yes. Obvi, short for obvious.
Yeah. Again, obnoxious, but
Yeah. Said no one ever.
I've heard that one less.
Yeah, but
that one doesn't drive me nuts. So not that one.
Not that one. Sorry, not sorry.
We should ban Time Magazine. That's what we should do. Like, why do you still exist? Do they,
Yeah.
Do they still sell Time Magazine? I haven't seen
a
copy of it. Maybe because I don't like. Do they have it like at the grocery store?
Time? Time is one of those ones like Entertainment Weekly that they don't have at the grocery store. You have to go
because I remember there was or whatever.
Well, there was an issue of Entertainment Weekly that came out. It's not a magazine I like to read all the time, but it might have been like it was back when Harry Potter, the 8th Harry Potter came out, and they were doing a photo retrospective. And some of the photos you could see online, but I was like, I like Harry Potter. I'm going to go get it. I went to every grocery store. None of them had it. I had to finally go to a Barnes & Noble to get a copy of it.
Too bad you didn't go to Walden Books.
Pour one out for Walden Books, right?
No, I had enough water on the floor this week. Thank you.
Okay, no water on Steve's floor. Turnt, Turnt.
That another one I'm not familiar with.
I don't know what that one is. So,
what is it?
I'm reading Time's description. Parents in Middle America may still be struggling to understand what this word means, and not just parents in Middle America, but you and I sitting right here. But everybody else knows all too well. No, we don't.
I wasn't even paying attention to what you just said, so don't read it again.
Yeah. Including writers at SNL who portrayed the state of being turnt as a remedy to an unsatisfying sex life. It's time for turnt to turn down. I still don't know what it means. What is wonderful about this article is that it is assuming that we know what all of these are, and even you and I, who are suburban, like East Coast, supposedly intelligent dudes who are relatively
a lot of emphasis on the word supposedly. Yes, we're very much dudes here.
The last one, yes, as in YAAASSSSSS.
My buddy Bill used to do that, and he would go like this, and I'm going to demonstrate, and you can try to explain what I'm doing.
You're doing the finger guns.
No, but then you would twirl them around, but they would have to be going in opposite directions.
Okay.
So you're pointing
finger guns at each other. Your pointer finger and your thumb are up, pointing at each other.
You go, yes.
Oh, and they're rotating.
They're rotating one clockwise, one counterclockwise.
Okay.
And it's hard to do. It's hard to get your brain to do it.
Yeah.
You can do it like the same way. That's easy, but doing them both opposite ways is tough.
People shouldn't ban words, Steve.
I agree. Circle gets the square. I'll take Jim J. Bullock to block.
I don't understand how, that is the state of Time Magazine, that they're coming up with link bait, clickbait articles. I guarantee you some of the editorial stuff.
At least it's not jailbait. Wink.
Oh, yeah. To just be like, hey, what will cause a controversy this week and get clicks to our website, which will get ads.
We should do that. We should have clickbait or masturbate.
Masturbate clickbait?
I think that's just porn.
Clickbait masturbate?
I think that's just a porn site.
Clickbait masturbate? Yes. I don't know. I don't know. Do you think they wish they could start over at a certain point in their week?
I don't know. You and your ham hands.
I'm looking at our list of things. We're at 48:20. We've got enough time to talk about
one more thing.
One more thing.
All right.
But I think there is a point at which magazines like Time they went bad somewhere along the way, and I don't think there's any recovering, and maybe there is a point at which time could go back to and recover, but I don't know what it would be. What about you?
So
is there
I have thought about this, and it's just weird because like I listened to a show recently, and they were talking about time travel, and they say that the older people get, the less interested they are in time travel.
Huh? Why is that?
I don't know. I guess because when you get to a certain age, you sort of accept
that your life is shit, and
not necessarily that.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Not necessarily that, but you accept that you've made choices in your life, and the opposite choices may or may not have had any consequence. In fact, they might have made things worse.
Right.
Even though you could have perceived that they would be better.
Gotcha.
So, I'm in my middle years, as are you.
Don't remind me.
Yeah, whatever. I'm younger than you, and I am as well. So shut up.
Okay.
I was thinking like, oh well, I guess I could go back to right before I moved to North Carolina.
Okay.
And not do that because I basically lost a lot of money doing that, but I did that. If I hadn't gone down, I wouldn't have come back when I did.
Right.
I wouldn't have gotten the job that I had gotten, like when I had gotten back.
Yeah.
I need to say gotten again. Gotten.
Gotcha.
And so I wouldn't be on my current career path.
Sure.
I might have been, but there's a chance that I wouldn't be.
Yeah. It's hard. When I think about where I would go back to, it's been pretty consistent over the last few years where I say, oh God, if I could go back in time and reverse one decision, I would go back and not buy a house in 2004. I consider it to be the biggest mistake of my life.
Really?
Yeah.
A lot of people say that, I'm in renter's hell and blah, 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 blah.
No, I mean,
which I am currently in.
I wrote an article about it, and I'll link it up in the show notes for this episode, which are at clarkwoods.com/hot/16. 16, thank you.
At least I remember which number we're at.
I wrote a piece about this. Artists shouldn't buy houses. And I really believe it. I just think we locked ourselves into that house. We both had, we didn't have kids at that point. We both had decent paying jobs. And we decided, this American dream, man, you own property. And
you bought when the market was high.
We bought when the market was high, yeah. And the thing is that I lost my job within 2 or 3 months of buying the house, and we should have gotten out of it right away. We really should have. I got a new job that was kind of part-time while I finished grad school, and then eventually became a full-time job, but it was a job at a nonprofit. It was a job in Boston, and that meant that we bought a house just over the border in New Hampshire because I was working in Chelmsford at the time, and that's like a half an hour.
Yeah.
And now I get this job where I'm going to be in Boston, and it's paying me far less. It's at a nonprofit, which is always going to be unstable just by its very nature. Within a year or so, Stephanie lost her job, her high-paying job at a computer reseller or computer parts reseller, and then soon after that, at some point, we refinanced rather than just selling the damn thing. Now the market did kind of collapse at around the same point that we refinanced. So I don't know if we would have been able to sell it for the amount of money that we owed, which has continued to be the problem.
Yeah.
So the most recent time we went to go and try and refinance, we couldn't because we owe more.
You're underwater.
Yeah, we owe more than what the house is worth, and so we are stuck there. Although we've been looking at ways around that. But yeah, I mean, if I could go back in time, I think buying a house was part of it is just the economy. Like, yeah, how would you have predicted what was gonna happen? But I and to go back to your point though, we got the house. It enabled us to have room for 2 children, right? And it enabled some creative thinking in terms of me going to work at a nonprofit, which changed my life, and in terms of me taking up teaching, which is where I am today. It's hard now, but
yeah, I mean, like the thing is, like, I mean,
but what would have changed?
Yeah, I mean, like the danger in time travel is the moment you travel, like, the butterfly effect or whatever.
Yeah.
But the danger, is the moment you travel back in time, you can easily affect something else that already exists and that, is good.
Right.
And you don't want to fuck those things up. I mean, you have 2 great kids.
Yeah.
And you don't want to fuck that up. So,
No.
like, just simply going back in time would be just a bad idea.
Yeah.
Even changing something like not buying the house, you might have, made different decisions.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I think the process of me losing my job was already in action. The boss that I worked for was not a good person, and basically he was abusive to everybody, mostly more the women in that organization, but definitely ended up looking for scapegoats every once in a while, and I was probably already on my way to becoming the scapegoat for what was going wrong with the company. So I probably still was, even if we had not bought the house, I probably still would have lost the job and would have had to have been looking for something new. But
then, you would have had the ability to move closer to maybe where you were working. I don't know where Steph was working at the time, but
yeah, she was working in Burlington.
So if you had gotten a place, like rented a place somewhere in that area, but that might have affected,
might have affected what I decided to do for work, and eventually it was my. I don't know if it was first with Kaylee, we needed both times we had the kids, we needed health insurance because we had to do in vitro fertilization, and I think the first time was through health insurance that Steph had, and the second time was through health insurance that I had. But at any rate, yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of things that get affected there. So while I regret buying the house,
there's some great things that came from the events that.
And I don't hate the house; it's a great house.
Yeah, it's not a bad little place.
I just there's been a lot of decisions that have happened because of it, both good and bad. I don't know. That's an interesting thing. What made you think about that?
It was just a show I was listening to.
Yeah.
So I think it was Radio Lab or something.
Okay.
Free plug, guys.
Hey, well, they're a podcast. They can use the free plugs.
Well, yeah, they're on public radio.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's the hip thing is to be on public radio. If we could do that,
yeah. Well,
people might actually be listening to us.
You can submit stuff to.
Yeah, they'll be like, you guys say fuck a little bit too much.
Well, we do say fuck.
You talk about strip clubs.
Oh, come on! I was just gonna say we were gonna get through a whole episode without talking about.
We did it a couple weeks ago.
Okay,
we're not talking about it. We just mentioned the word strip club.
We got meta. We try to do episodes where we don't talk about strip clubs, and this is one.
I don't. Yeah, this is one.
We're not talking about it.
Yeah, we're just talking about the fact that we haven't talked about it.
We haven't talked about it. So this counts.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. This counts.
So if you're keeping score,
this is an episode where we didn't talk about them.
To think about. No, I'm not going to talk about it.
I think that's. I'm looking at the list of things we're going to talk about.
Well, we can talk about it next time. Let's not bring up the other stuff. We can talk about it next time.
Yeah.
And then, I think that'll be good.
That's a good place to end. I mean,
well, not yet. We have that email from Brian.
We do have the email from Brian. Our
frequent contributing friend, Brian.
and that was me being a Foley artist, which reminds me,
you need a drink.
You, the listener, needs to drink. I don't need to drink because then I'd have to take a pee break before we finished the show, and
we have like 2 minutes.
That would just be humiliating. No, if we were gonna do a T-shirt for Horribly Off Topic, what would that t-shirt... I've already asked Steve this, and we've had some offline discussions about it, but you, listeners, what would you want that Horribly Off Topic t-shirt to say?
I have an idea.
Yeah.
Do you want me to share it right now?
Yeah, share it right now.
I think it'd be like two penises talking to each other. Then you could practice drawing dicks.
I know, but who would wear a shirt with two penises on it? All right.
Most people.
Okay. So, hot@clarkwoods.com. Send your suggestion, or if you are hearing this and you're on Facebook right now, rather than just liking the post where I say Steve and I have recorded the show, drop a note in the comments on Facebook, send us something on Twitter. Any way you want, just tell us what you want your Horribly Off Topic t-shirt to say.
And if you want us to give bad advice to you, you can send us questions as well.
Yes. We would love to give you bad advice.
Yeah.
Okay.
But as Ron Bennington, the great Ron Bennington, radio host to the Stars, he always says, "Don't take advice from some jackass you hear on the radio
or on your
podcast,
on your iPod or your iPhone or your
iDevice or
your Android
thing with the ice cream. What is their operating system is like all
they're
like,
always named
like
after
candy or
yeah.
cookies or ice cream sandwich or lollipop.
Like that, lollipops.
It's a lollipop time with you, and life just keeps getting sweeter. That brings us. I got to bring this up because I brought that up. It was there was a guy, me and Brian. The one that
we're about to read an email from.
In college, we went to see They Might Be Giants at what was it? The Avalon, which is now the House of Blues in Boston.
Yeah.
Right across from Fenway Park. And we went to see They Might Be Giants, and the guy that was opening for them was a guy named Cornmo, who I suggest you check out at some point.
Okay.
He was just this wacky dude, and he sang that song that I was just singing, and Brian got a cool interaction with him afterwards and got a signed poster.
Nice. From Cornmo.
From Cornmo that said "fuck dumb shit," because that was like it was a line from a Busta Rhymes song, and that was like every time Brian got somebody to sign something, he would get them to sign "fuck dumb shit."
Fuck dumb shit. So, speaking of Brian, he writes, you haven't sought out Citizen Kane.
Yeah. I realize that now.
Well, you were trying to say sussed out Citizen Kane, and you said, I haven't sucked it out yet.
I haven't sucked it out.
You haven't sucked it out yet.
You can't call this show that again.
No, I can't. No, I'm sure there's something we've said that was funny that will serve well as an episode title. I'll figure it out.
Or you could just use the one that I wanted last week.
You're like Jesus. So you haven't sought out Citizen Kane. Should I read the rest? I don't think we need to. Yeah. Brian thought that the whole process
was dumb.
Was hilarious.
Yes.
Yes. That it was a funny thing. Thank you, Brian, for writing in. We could use some emails though, not just from Brian. Although Brian, please write in again.
Continue to write to us.
Continue to write to us.
It makes us feel like people listen to the show.
Yes. And if you do listen to the show, send us an email, hot@clarkwoods.com. Give us a 5-star rating on iTunes, because I think last we checked, we still only had 5 of those.
We need more than 5.
We need a bunch of 5-star ratings.
That means we'll show up on like a ranking, and then maybe more people will like independently find us.
Yes.
And we won't need to advertise someplace else.
Yes.
Or I won't need to send out nonsense tweets with the hashtag of the day.
Yes.
With a link to the show.
So send us hot@clarkwoods.com, or you can send us something on Twitter. I'm at ECC1977.
And I'm at Tuesday IS Loser. Tuesday is loser, not Tuesday *S loser.
Yeah, because
Tuesday is loser.
Learn how to tweet, motherfuckers. Just learn how to tweet.
I'm sure that somebody is following Tuesday's loser.
Yeah. So let us know about the t-shirt, about how amazing we are, and about what else should they let us know about?
I don't know. What's your favorite fucking words you want to ban? I don't know.
Yeah.
Or if you listen to this show and you want to ban words, then I don't know. Can you come over here so I can smack you in the back of the head, please?
And so we can be copacetic with our copies on your head.
I don't like it either. I'm with John.